Welcome again to Jost on a Boxing. I haven't mentioned Eddie Hearn recently. I'm thinking primarily of his reaction to the Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury fight. Post fight, he seemed to be in sort of elated shock. He couldn't believe what he'd just seen. Like all his Christmases had come early. All the flack he's taken off Warren and Fury, it suddenly seemed to sort of bubble up and explode like some sort of great fountain of "Way, happy days are here again," that sort of thing. And one of the things he said was Tyson Fury wouldn't last 6 rounds with Anthony Joshua. Francis Ngannou, he wouldn't last 3. Now, there is such a thing as getting carried away, Eddie, all right? Because, first of all, if you're talking about the AJ of old, the killer who fought Dillian White, compared or facing the Fury that fought Ngannou, yes, 6 rounds or less is a viable prediction. 3 rounds against Ngannou, yeah, maybe. Combine the skills and the power of AJ and but we're not talking about that AJ. We're talking about a guy whose confidence is around the ankles, who's had 2 comeback wins, if that's the word, comeback, I don't know, I suppose it is, following those 2 defeats to Usyk, and who's got a new trainer, or newish trainer now, has had 2 fights, hasn't looked particularly good in either, although I didn't expect him to, because in the case of Jermaine Franklin, he was with Derek James for the first time, so he had to sort of settle in with James and work on some of the things, or display some of the things he's been working on in the gym. And the second fight was that farce with Dillian White testing positive, and then Helenius came in as almost an 11th hour substitute, and then tested positive for PED. So what a mess that was. But he got the job done in cautious fashion against Jermaine Franklin, but against Helenius, he got out jabbed early on. At the end of that fight, his nose was blooded, his blood coming out of his mouth, and for whatever reason, I don't know whether AJ has some sort of injury that never heals to his nose, but he always seems to bleed profusely from the nose. I think ever since he got busted against, was it Takam first busted his nose? I can't remember now. Anyway, we're talking about that AJ, the AJ who doesn't appear to have any confidence, the AJ who is second-guessing himself, who's still learning, who, despite his age, is almost trying to reinvent himself, or maybe rediscover himself, rediscover his identity. Whenever I talk about AJ, I have to talk about, have to use this word identity, because it seems to me that both as a man and a fighter, he's missing something. He's got lost somewhere, and he's trying to rediscover it. He's definitely someone who second guesses himself, someone who has to be told precisely what to do. His ring IQ isn't particularly high. He's not an idiot in the ring, obviously, but he likes to have instructions and follow them to the letter. And so that AJ against Fury, well, first of all, if Fury was fighting AJ, I can't imagine he'd come in the sort of appalling shape that he did against Ngannou. He knows what to expect, and that's his sort of nemesis. Always has been throughout his career. Fury at times almost obsesses over Joshua and what he's achieved and the public perception of him and the popularity he's had in the past. Not so much now, but in the past. So I think that it's perfectly feasible that if Fury came in shape, even the current version of Fury, who is, I think, past his best, I think there's a very realistic chance he beat Joshua still. I'm not someone who thinks that the performance against Ngannou showed that he's completely shot. I don't buy that. I think he's past his best, but shot? No. We need more evidence of that. As bad as he was against Ngannou. And as for Joshua knocking out Ngannou in 3 rounds, you just don't know. I mean, he hits hard. He could, but you see, the thing about Ngannou is he's physically strong, immensely strong, and he did seem to have a pretty decent chin. And against a guy with no confidence, or whose confidence is lacking, I would have to pick AJ, because I always believe in letting the head rule the heart. But you just don't know, do you? Maybe because you see, Ngannou was knackered after 5 rounds in that Fury fight, and he hadn't done a great deal. boxing fitness is very, very different. Being fighting fit in a boxing ring is different to the octagon, I suppose. I don't know much about MMA, but so yeah, Eddie, don't get carried away. Don't start being too silly. Let AJ do his thing, and yeah, let Fury and Usyk sort it out, and then maybe AJ can finally get it on with Wilder. But Ngannou, he's part of the Who Needs Him club, considered now to be high risk, low reward, rightly or wrongly. But anyway, comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the like button as well if you don't mind. And spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Looking forward to reading your comments as always. Thank you for your time. Bye for now.